Good morning and welcome once again to the Zest4 webinar. This is going to be number 4 in the series of webinars that we're putting on to help partners and potential partners understand firstly who Zest4 are, what Zest4 are doing in the IoT space, what the opportunity is for partners, and how Zest4 can help partners succeed. As part of the series of webinars, we'll be covering several topics that will help partners make the journey through the IoT minefield. The topic I'm going to cover today is temperature monitoring for food safety and compliance, and I'll focus on a solution that we have in place that's used in the food industry, but the solution I cover can be used in many other areas. So the agenda item for today is going to be what the solution is, what sort of things it can be used for. I'll give a demonstration of the platform, the online platform. I'll also look at a case study for utilisation and also take a look at what we believe the partner opportunity is. So if we crack on, temperature monitoring solutions have been around for a while now, and whilst some organisations have taken automated online solutions on board, there's a large percentage of the industry that still appears to be managing with manual measurement and recording systems. They still rely on an individual within the business to monitor, measure and record information. Some have outsourced this work and pay higher premiums for having a monitored service, but the industry appears to be looking for a reliable, cost-efficient managed solution. So this is what we're offering using IoT as a platform to deliver it. I'll show you some background about the industry requirements. The food safety, the general food hygiene regulations of 1995 say that certain foods must be kept at temperatures either below 8 degrees or above 63 degrees to make sure that they remain safe to eat. Regular checks and records are necessary within the industry to show that temperatures stay within these legal requirements throughout its life cycle. Manual temperature monitoring at the level of detail needed to satisfy the regulations is very time consuming. It's a poor use of highly qualified human resources and it lacks the requisite accuracy. The Zest4 monitoring solution that I'm going to take you through today can assist with these guidelines as part of a fully integrated system. By using our online monitoring system, users are alerted in advance of a fault occurring at the point of equipment failure. This saves production time, it can save money and prevents products being spoiled due to increases or decreases in temperature. Plus it enables collection of all temperatures and critical control points that are required, thus, I suppose, simplifying compliance. Our range of low-impact wireless sensors and cellular gateways are calibrated and certified to UCAS standards. They deliver an easily installed, affordable solution for data collection and compliance reporting within the industry. The Zest4 online software application provides traceability, validation of conditions, and the ability to configure thresholds. Where thresholds are exceeded, our real-time platform generates alerts to a user in order for them to react and carry out some corrective action. The system also provides a range of automated reports with auditable data for full traceability. Also, to ensure we cover all requirements, we offer a full range of sensors to monitor temperatures in almost any situation. The most common being industrial fridges and freezers, but we can also cover extreme temperatures of -200 and up to +300. All the sensors are made out of non-metallic food-grade plastics and have a usable battery life of around 5 years. And as well as standard temperature sensors, we can offer sensors that will monitor things like air temperature, humidity, doors opening and closing, and food probes, oxygen depletion, cold drink and ice cream makers, Legionella, and much more. So how do they work? Well, each sensor is completely self-contained. It transmits using LoRa low power technology. For those that are not aware of LoRa or which is short for long range. It's a low power, long range wireless platform that's really become the de facto technology for the Internet of Things worldwide. LoRa technology enables smart IoT applications to work that solve some of the biggest challenges facing our planet today, such as things like energy management, natural resource reduction, pollution control, infrastructure efficiency, disaster prevention, and much, much more. So it's ideal for this type of solution. Using an unlicensed spectrum, each sensor has a working range of over 1 kilometre. And the sensors report to one central hub that's got 4G technology built into it. The hub then uses the 4G connectivity to transmit the data from each sensor into the Zest4 real-time monitoring platform. We then take this data, make sense of it, and present it in a usable format to the end client so that they can efficiently and effectively manage their business requirements. So what we'll do next then is take a look at the platform, and I can show you it operating and working in full. So what you see here then is the front page of the platform. This is the dashboard. The dashboard that you see in front of you here has a small number of sensors that are deployed into one of our demo sites. The dashboard can be branded to reflect the end user's requirements. So let me walk you through what you can see. On our demo site, we've got 3 separate sensors that are currently live. Looking at the sensors, we can see the temperature that each sensor is at. And note on the left, we have a traffic light system. This lets us instantly see at a glance if we have any issues or any of our assets are not performing as they should be. At the bottom of the page, I've also got a 3-day snapshot here, which shows what temperature each sensor was at a specific date and time. This is a requirement for Haccp recording. So Haccp, or Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, is a management system in which food safety is addressed. It's addressed through the analysis and control of biological, chemical and physical hazards from raw material production, procurement and handling, to manufacturing, distribution, and right through to consumption of the finished product. As part of Haccp requirements, they're required to monitor and measure and record temperature at least 3 times during every 24-hour period. And I'll come on to reports that we can generate automatically to meet the requirements later. The last thing you see on the dashboard then is a recent notifications box. Our system is built on exception reporting, which means that you can see in real time everything that is happening, but there's no need to have someone monitoring it 24 hours a day. Each sensor can be individually programmed and have several parameters set. This means that if there's a change in one of the parameters, or there's been a rule that's been set has been broken, the system would generate an incident and send out a notification either by text, email, or both. We can also add a visual and audible alarm system to the factory or kitchen system so that it can be seen and heard by anyone that needs to know. The box you see here gives a list of all the recent notifications on the demo site. It tells me the date and time of each incident, it tells me what sensor it was, and it tells me briefly what happened. Then if I click on one of the dates, I can see the detail behind this. What this also allows me to do is record the findings of an incident in an audit trail. So if I click on one of the events here, it takes me to the incident. I can see all the relevant information that I need about the incident down the left hand side, i.e. the alarm ID, which sensor it was, the time and date, etc, etc. But what I can also do is add some corrective action if needed. This creates an audit trail. So as an engineer or someone responsible for the management of this, I can create a log of what's happened. I would simply choose one of the preset options, and we can tailor these to the customer. And I'd also then add some free text. This would then save the detail to the records. These records can be added to, but they can't be changed or altered. thus giving me the chance to review what has been done and who it's been done by. At the bottom of this page here, I can see a pie chart. This will give me a snapshot of how many alarms we've had, how many have been acknowledged and actioned. A great log for auditing any business. And of course, any of the reports and actions that I show you here today can all be printed off if needed. So let's take a look at some other functions and features that are critical in the food service industry. Back here at the dashboard, and the dashboard is customizable, by the way. I won't go into this now, but your customers can personalize it for their own business to make sure that the dashboard is showing what is important to them. If I go to the top here and click on reports, as I mentioned earlier, I have the ability to create an audit trail. If I select a time and date range, this is where I can see this in action. If you have multiple engineers or individuals that require access, each would have their own login, which means every time they log in, it's recorded. Every notification that they update is recorded. Every change they make to the system or sensor configuration, it's recorded. That way, there's a means of making sure that everyone is on top of what they should be doing. Other useful reports that are used in this industry are fridge reports. The fridge report is one that most customers use regularly. It's basically an auditable report that will give you a snapshot of how each sensor is reporting and performing. So again, if I pick a date range, I select all the probes, I can now see of all our sensors, the upper day threshold, the lower day threshold, the same for night time, the minimum temperature and the maximum temperature that that sensor achieved, and the average temperature. And again, all of this information I can print. I can also look at specific sensors and see how they're performing. If I look at the graph here, I can see the red line indicates the thresholds that have been set for that sensor, and the blue line is how the fridge or the asset has been performing. And if I scroll down, I get a detailed overview of what's happened. Again, all of these can be printed off in various file formats to review. I mentioned earlier Haccp safety reporting. Here is where I can set my check times, which means the system will automatically generate a report at these times. I can go outside of these times to generate a report if needed, but what the system will do is automatically give me a report for the times and dates that I set. So again, select a date range and generate my report. Again, we use a traffic light system, so I can see what my fridges were doing, and I have a record for my business. I also mentioned earlier that the system is designed for the end user to be able to personalize and manage this themselves. So if I go into System Setup, this is where the end user can manage all the tools. Alarms, notifications, etc. And there's also a handy system wizard. So when you're setting it up, you can make sure you don't miss anything and you get the system set up exactly to how you want it. To further personalize this and make it easier, you can upload site plans. So if you upload a site plan, you'll be able to see exactly where in your organization or where in your buildings each sensor is which ones are working and which one needs attention. So there we have a very quick overview of how to manage a site that has a requirement for temperature monitoring. So out of the dashboard and back to the deck. I did say to you earlier that I'd share with you some information about utilisation. So our partner works with a company in the food industry. They're a leading UK food business, delivering quality, fresh and convenient food solutions to the UK retail and food service sectors every day. With a significant turnover, they're one of Britain's largest privately owned businesses. The customer needs were to address CRC commitment to food waste. They wanted a simple to use dashboard, reduce operating costs, and they were looking for a fairly quick payback. To achieve this, our partner supplied and installed a temperature reporting system comprising of 17 food grade temperature sensors and transmitters. Temperatures are monitored continuously and data is uploaded in real time to our cloud-based software and reporting suite. The system has eliminated the need for existing chart recorders, chart and manual temperature recording. The automated monitoring and compliance reporting solution has provided a reliable system that's proved accurate every time calibration has been checked. The easy-to-access cloud-based dashboard and reporting suite is providing historical evidence of temperatures, which is invaluable in this industry. Key benefits to the customer are threshold exceptions are by email, so they don't need to be monitoring it consistently. They're told when something is not right. They've got automated Haccp reporting. They've managed to reduce their operating costs. All the sensors are UCAS calibrated. They have a fully traceable audit log, which is eliminating stock loss. And the results have been great, with £5,750 saved in labour and material costs. There was a 23-month return on investment, but the key thing is it's fully expandable for site monitoring. A comment from the company stated that since the installation, they've removed the old chart recorders completely, and they're saving over 6 hours per week in labour. And based on the high reliability of the solution, they've recently expanded this now, and the system is now monitoring effluent plant levels and flows. So what does this mean to you as a partner of Zest4? Well, as you know, we don't sell anything directly to the end user. All of our business is done through partners. So we've put together a competitive and easy to follow package that will allow you as a partner to push this solution out to your customers. The package consists of either an upfront purchase of the hardware, or we can provide a very competitive lease purchase solution to mitigate any upfront pain for the customer. There's an ongoing monthly subscription then for the licensing of the portal and the data consumption. It's a very simple model that will see you generating new revenues in the IoT space and opening your customer up to further products and solutions. We offer full support, both pre-sale and post-sale, and happy to work with you and your teams not only to identify opportunities, but also to help you deliver them. So if anyone wants any further information regarding this, then please get in touch after the webinar. This will bring us to a close today for today's webinar, and I'll shortly opening for questions. So if you want to ask a question, please raise your hand using the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. Again, the webinar will be available to download and review at your leisure, and the next webinar will take place on the 13th of September at 9:30. The topic for the next webinar is going to be Zest4 asset tracking solutions. We have a full suite of solutions that will enable your customers to track and manage almost anything within their business using GPRS, 3G, 4G and satellite services. So please do what you can to join me for that one. So for now, I'll close and just say, any questions?